Okay, so this is early in the morning. It's July 23rd, and I'm standing in a cotton field here where we are have an irrigation study. As you can see, we got our lateral. This is a variable rate irrigation lateral, and it can put out for different amounts, of course, variable rate depending on how we program it, and it's all based off of GPA, so it walks this whole distance of the field. This study that we're looking at now, as you can see, we have corn and cotton butted right up against each other in this field. What we're really looking at here is water use efficiency, but also nitrogen use efficiency in corn and cotton systems. I'm working with Dr. Julie Shortridge, the irrigation specialist located in Blacksburg, Dr. Wade Thomason, our corn and small grain specialist located in Blacksburg, and then Dr. Holzhauser, the soybean agronomist, is also a part of this study here. What we're seeing in this camera here, you see these poles with these white buckets on top of them with solar panels. These are tipping buckets to measure rainfall, but also, if you notice, there's a black wire. And go over here. This is a black wire coming down, and it's running, we see, running down the row. And if we get down in the cotton, you see that there's a soil moisture probe. Now this soil moisture probe measures soil moisture every so many minutes, I think every 5 to 10 minutes at every 4-inch depth. So it goes 0 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 to 16, 16 to 20, 20 to 24, 4-inch depths all the way down to 3 feet. And what we're looking at is these are used to predict precision irrigation. So to predict when soil moisture is needed, when water is needed based off environmental conditions. We also have a weather station logging temperature, humidity, wind, so it's calculating evapotranspiration, how much the crop is using, vapor pressure deficit, which is a way that we can predict irrigation needs. We're comparing that to a non-irrigated study, and if you've been around Suffolk or Southeast or most of Virginia, you know this summer's been fairly dry, spotty rainfall. And so what we're looking at is non-irrigated, precision irrigation, and then full irrigated. So the full irrigated system is getting about, on the corn, we're putting about 2 inches a week now. And on the cotton, since we're starting to bloom in this field, we're putting about another 2 inches. I mean, we're really putting the water down on the full irrigation plots. And I'm gonna stand back so we can see. The plot right in front of me is a low nitrogen cotton plot. The plot next to that, if you can see, and I apologize for my shadow, that is 120 pounds. So that plot right there is 120 pounds of nitrogen. If you come over, no, 80 pounds of nitrogen. You come over, we have a 40 pound of nitrogen rate, and you can tell if you look, it's a little bit yellower, starting to yellow up, starting to see the nitrogen difference. And then the last plot is our 120 pound nitrogen rate. Total nitrogen, about 25 pounds at planting and the rest at side dress. We're starting to flower in the cotton. It looks great. This has had 2 shots of picks on it, as opposed to most of our cotton, which has not had a shot of picks due to dry weather. This cotton is not stressed. It's a highly productive field. And so this project, we're going to come in and take biomass samples and really evaluate nutrient uptake, nitrogen use efficiency, but also water use efficiency. We're going to move over into the corn, and I'm going to come over and show you the corn. We have some border rows here. Here we have some corn. Let me look at the stake so we know what nitrogen rate it's on, what nitrogen rate it is. This is 12, so this is 240 pounds. So corn goes up a little higher, right? We were trying to maximize yield. This corn's planted at about 31,000. It's on 36-inch centers, so it's a little different than the rest of the site. So that's 240 pounds. This next plot, if you look up underneath, we're starting to yellow. We're running out of nitrogen. We're running out of nitrogen, starting to fire up the plant, not due to lack of water. This is actually 80 pounds. This is 80 pounds of nitrogen. And we tailored the nitrogen rates based off the crop. Corn's gonna need a lot more nitrogen. So we see that 80 pounds, that nitrogen deficiency firing up the crop. Here we have, this is 160 pounds, I believe. Yeah, 160 pounds. Right here, as you see, starting to see a little yellowing at the bottom of the plant compared to the 240. But it looks pretty good, pretty healthy. I think it's going to yield well, especially receiving 2 inches of water a week. And then we have what we consider our check plot. So look at the difference in the corn. This is 0 pounds of nitrogen to the acre. Yellow, stunted, but we have to have this in here to determine nitrogen use efficiency, this check plot. Why? Because we need to know what the soil provides. The soil has some nitrogen in it. We have to take into account how much nitrogen that corn was able to take up, cotton was able to take up with what was in the soil residually. As you can tell, a lot of differences out here in nitrogen, and hopefully irrigation wise, I'm starting to see a little bit of height difference in the cotton. The no irrigation is starting to really hammer the cotton. The first time we irrigated about 2.5 weeks ago, we actually had a rainfall event of about 1.1 inches, and we kept irrigating the study because you got to treat everything the same. You can't irrigate half the study and have 2 inches of water on it and the other half have only 1.1. So we had to make everything consistent. But again, you see the cotton, the difference in the check plots here. Look at that, the difference. This is a highly productive field. Again, and last year we made 4 to 5 bale cotton in this field all throughout the whole field. So this is cotton behind cotton and then corn behind cotton. So, and the reason we did that as well is we felt like this field had a lower residual soil nitrogen following a non-legume crop such as soybeans or peanuts. So that's why we selected this field underneath our lateral for the study. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. And I appreciate you tuning into the YouTube channel. This project is hopefully going to be funded by the Virginia Ag Council, and the proposal situation has been delayed through Corona, but this proposal has been submitted, and we continued on with the project, and hopefully it'll be funded by the Virginia Ag Council so we can do it again next year. Thank you. Bye.